hair looks good, the makeup looks good. I'm sweating. It's very hot. I'm thirsty. No water here. Okay, it is. Water tastes funny. I think it was yesterday's water. Ugh. Anyways, how's it going, guys? Tash here with another Can You game on it. I'm doing this thing again. For this week, we're back to reviewing smartphones, and we are gonna be reviewing the Oppo Reno6 Z 5G. By the way, is Malaysia ready for 5G? No. Is any part of Southeast Asia ready for 5G? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, CK, do the intro. Anyways, guys, for this week, as mentioned before, we are reviewing the Oppo Reno6 Z 5G. It's over here. Honestly, I was actually quite surprised at this phone. You know, at a glance, you think like, oh, you know, it looks like a mid-range phone. I just want to say, while it looks like a normal mid-range phone, it's actually so good for gaming. Okay, it's not like super awesomely good for gaming, but it does exceed a lot of my expectations. So if you want to know, keep watching. Let's start off with the specs. It comes with not a Snapdragon processor, but the MediaTek MT6853 Dimensity 800U 5G. I felt like a super scientist saying that. That was like a lot of numbers. When people hear the word MediaTek, there is a collective oh in the background. CK, please put the sound in the background or something, please. I'm begging you, please. Don't meme me, sir, please. Now let's talk a little bit about the design. So looking at it right now, I think like back plastic, and I really like the back actually. It's textured, you can see here, and it does come with a shine. It's a very interesting texture. So plastic, while many won't like it, but I feel like a lot of mid-range phones actually have plastic. So you know what, at this point, we're not surprised anymore. But what I like about this is that you don't really see it get dirty so much because it's not glossy, so you're not gonna see fingerprints, which I absolutely love. So for people like CK who doesn't use a case, I'm still judging you, by the way. You're gonna enjoy this phone. So looking at the bottom here, you have your 3.5mm jack, a USB 2.0 as well as a single speaker, which I am very disappointed about, but more about that later. It has a single O cutout here on the top, which is the selfie camera. Honestly, not a big deal to me, as I said before. When it's over here, when you're playing games, you tend to cover it with your thumb anyways, and you're not gonna notice it. Also, a lot of games actually have HUDs that support certain phones, so you don't have to worry about getting your, you don't have to worry about things getting cut out. Alright, so now let's talk about the performance. So first and foremost, PUBG Mobile. I can only play it on high. I can't go HDR and beyond because it is not supported on this device. Everything else, I can actually max it out, no problem at all. So one thing about PUBG Mobile, I noticed that a lot of phones tend to get warm or even hot when you're playing PUBG Mobile, but not this phone. And I was just like, ma'am, there's like barely any heat. Is this real? So yeah, honestly, heating isn't gonna be an issue on this phone. So the screen, despite it being AMOLED, for some reason isn't as clear as other phones out there in the market. I found it a little hard to see, especially really far in the distance. I feel like I had to look around like a few times here and there just to see where people are hiding when they shoot me from afar. Like, I do get the notification where the shots are coming from, but when I look at the general area, I don't quickly see the person, so there's that. Alright, let's move on to MOBAs. I tried out Wild Rift as well as Mobile Legends Bang Bang. So for both games, let me just say that both of these games are pretty well optimized for a lot of phones. For phones that are on Android, you can actually choose, you can actually customize the graphics on Mobile Legends Bang Bang, whereas for Wild Rift, it already tailor picks the best graphics for you. 60 FPS for both games, and honestly, not a big deal, barely even warm. The inputs are great, honestly, for this phone. Like, I didn't find any lags, like, you know, like an input delay, like it wasn't even there when I played games on this phone. Moving on, let's talk about the heaviest hitter. Let's talk about Genshin Impact. So as you know, I'm a huge Genshin Impact fan. So jumping into the game, all the graphics are set on low, and I was actually really surprised because a lot of devices put it on medium, and I didn't want to ruin the phone or anything, so I left it at that. But the thing is, a lot of the time, whenever I'm recording on the phone itself, for games like Genshin Impact or even Call of Duty Mobile or even PUBG, you do notice, for mid-range phones I mean, that it tends to lag a bit. But there is something really interesting about recording on this phone. Using the phone's stock screen recorder, it actually locks your FPS on 60, ensuring that the game as well as the recording is gonna be stutter-free as well as lag-free. So to my shooketh surprise, Genshin Impact was not laggy when I played on the phone during recording. I'm so mind blown. Like, what? And on top of that, it barely even got hot. Like, yeah, it was warm, but it wasn't like super warm to the point that I still get like, I feel heat. No, it's okay. It's normal. I did my dailies on it. It's good enough to actually even fly around. I feel like when I play Genshin Impact, when I have to fly around, I mean not fly, but glide around, that's always an issue in the game. But not for me. I actually really enjoyed playing Genshin Impact on this. I can actually see myself playing Genshin Impact on this device when I wake up in the morning and I just want to do my dailies. It's actually not bad. If possible, like if you're not recording, I do absolutely recommend picking it up to medium. I don't think it should be an issue. It's no problem. Don't play it on high 100% and do not play on 60 FPS unless you want an explosion to happen on this device. Don't do it! So let's talk a little bit more about the heat. So it does come with a multi-cooling system. So a lot of phones actually advertise that on their websites. And you know, the first thing I thought when I saw this was, okay, it's gonna be a gimmick, just like every other phone where it feels like, oh, cool, I guess the cooling is just gonna be mediocre, but it's not. It's actually really good. I am so shocked by their cooling. It's actually better than some high-end phones I've tried out. Okay, let's go in a little bit more with their enhanced gaming features. It does what it's supposed to do. It stops calls, stops notifications, puts in a lot more resources if you're gaming, which I really appreciate. Honestly, it's not bad at all. Okay, so for speakers, I am absolutely, I think because I have tested out so many phones, like I think like I'm spoiled when it comes to speakers. Honestly, the speakers for this is mediocre. It does what it's supposed to do. It sounds alright, nothing to brag about, but you know what? You can't have like something amazing for the whole thing on a mid-range. You give and take. So I guess like, you know, the downside for this one is the speakers. So verdicts for this phone, the pros, it's great for gaming. It has great cooling system. The cons, I'm just not really too crazy about the speakers. So to wrap it up, the golden question of the day is, can you game on the Oppo Reno6 5G? Absolutely yes, and it has some great cooling systems. Anyways, I'm Tash. I'm gonna be on the analyst table for PMPL for the next few weeks. Do check me out, and while I'm just gonna do that, I'm gonna play more PUBG Mobile on this, as well as Genshin. Your girl's been busy. I haven't had time to log into Genshin in a long time, and I need to save all those primos for my waifus. Okay, Kokobi and Bal, mommy's coming for you!